Let's get using a tenon saw. How do we cut with a tenon saw? So how are we going to hold it? I'm right-handed. I'm going to hold it in my right hand, my 3 fingers here, my thumb on this side, and my index finger is going to be pointing outwards. So like I'm pointing a gun down the length of the saw. Now, with the tenon saw, we're going to keep our wrist and elbow, and as much as we can, our shoulder in line with the line that we're going to be cutting on. And to do that, the body has to be out of the way. So we'll use our left hand to hold our timber. Now, some people will use their thumbs to guide the saw. I don't particularly like doing that, so I use my knuckle, and I can get it out of the way quicker, because if we cut that, that's pretty painful up here. So we try not to. So we rest the saw on the far edge of the timber. Use your palm of your hand to keep this timber secure against that bench hook, and use your knuckle to guide it. You're going to pull the saw on the waist side of the line back, blow that dust out of the way. And as you're doing it, you're going to be able to look down both sides of the saw, keeping the waist, keeping the line there, but making sure that we're cutting on the waist side of that line. As we draw back on that one, you can see that the wrist, elbow, and shoulder we keep in line with the line we're cutting. And slowly drag that saw back and forth all the time, keeping to the waist side of that line. And then the saw will be tilted upwards when we start it, and then we'll gradually lower it down until we get into the timber, and we'll keep the blade then horizontal. When we've made that incision, we keep blowing that dust out of the way. When you've made the first incision, you're left with a kerf line, and that kerf is the bit that's cut out. Then afterwards, we're going to watch this line and saw down here and use the weight of the saw to follow down through, just as you're pushing back and forth each time. And try and cut with as much length of the blade as possible. Take your time at it. There's no rush. And keeping the saw nice and straight through. And using our head back and forth, checking that our line is okay. Cut right through into the bench hook. We don't mind cutting into the bench hook. That's what it's for. We've cut that out. And when you're finished with that, we're going to check it out to see that we've left our line all the way around our timber. Now, if we've left a little bit more, that's fine, because we can always clean that up a bit afterwards. If we've gone beyond it, we can't clean it up. We just won't have enough timber left on it. And if you want to check it out, put it up there and see that it's square. That's one way. The other is off your edge side, measure it. See how square that is. And if we've got no gaps in there, we're going to be good with that. Happy. Practice cutting. Cut about another 20 mil, mark up another 20 mil, more cutting. We're going to keep doing that repeatedly till we get it right. We want about 20 cuts. And the offcuts, we'll use those for a chopping board later on in another project.